readers. Watch to the end of this video to learn how you could win free books. Yay, free books. My name is Emma G. Rose, and today we're reading from my second novel, which will come out July 2020, Near Life Experience. This will be the first time anyone has ever heard it read aloud, so yay, lucky you. We are starting right at the very beginning with Chapter 1, Lightning Strike. The storm walked electric fingers up Eric's neck while he pulled supplies out of the back of the ambulance. "We're gonna have some weather," he told his partner, Susan, as though it wasn't obvious. Already a lightning strike had hit a church on the other side of New Bedford, which was why they'd made it unseen before the fire trucks. Standing in the grassy area next to the substation, they were exposed, but the lightning had plenty of other potential targets. Eric glanced at the power station, all metal, designed to conduct electricity, and at the cluster of tall pine trees close to the fence. Either of those things would make a better lightning rod than he would. Susan grunted as she hefted the AED out of the bus. "Better stabilize the kid quick then," she said. A boy ran up. He was maybe 13, dressed in a day-glow tracksuit and Nike high tops. His wide eyes alternated between fear and excitement. The electricity in the air raised the fuzz on his head, making it stand out like the fur of a startled cat. "This way," he said. All three flinched as lightning shocked the sky, followed almost instantly by a crash of thunder. The boy ran back toward the fence, where two other kids huddled together near the base of one of those big lightning rod trees. Their heads were tilted back, but they weren't watching the storm. Eric followed their gaze. A boy hung upside down from the top of the fence, his stark white sneaker thrust into the air like a pennant of surrender. They hurried closer to see him more clearly. It looked like his pant leg was caught in the barbed wire put there to stop people from doing what he and his friends had apparently tried to do, climb over the top of the fence. He must have gone first, gotten tangled, and spilled forward. Now he was dangling 20 feet above, clinging to the chain link. If he let go, his pants wouldn't hold long. Eric imagined him landing headfirst on the ground, his neck snapping. If he was lucky, he'd end up paralyzed. By standing up close to the chain link, Eric could see the blood soaking the kid's pant leg. The barbed wire had bit him, bit deep if the amount of blood was any indication. The kid was crying, pale. He shouldn't be pale, not while hanging upside down. The blood should have been rushing to his face. How much had he lost? "What's his name?" Eric asked the huddled kids. "Timmy." The tree was an old pine, easy to climb, and the branches rubbed right up against the fence. Without stopping to let fear creep in, Eric dropped his gear in the grass. He grabbed the tin snips and stuck them into his belt. They should be able to cut through barbed wire. Eric grabbed a branch. "Eric, hold on." Susan snatched his shoulder. "The fire trucks will be here any second." Eric hesitated. Every hair on his body was standing at attention. The rain could start any second, too, and then Timmy would be done for. He couldn't maintain his grip in a downpour. "No time." Eric shook her off. He heard Susan ordering the kids to back away, using the commanding voice every mom seemed to acquire around the time her child takes her first steps. She was looking out for their safety, of course, but also sparing them the sight of their friend's neck snapping like a twig if Eric failed. Eric tried to move quickly while also testing every handhold before he put his weight on it. The tree seemed sturdy, but he didn't trust it. He started talking while Timmy was still overhead. "Hang on, Timmy. We're going to get you down. You just keep doing what you're doing. It'll all be lightning, thunder." Eric heard squeals from the kids below, but Timmy was silent. One more branch brought Eric level with his patient. Timmy's eyes were wide, pupils dilated. He didn't seem to know Eric was there, although they were just a fence thickness apart. "I'm almost there, Timmy. You're doing great. Stay with me, buddy." Eric paused, trying to assess. He couldn't hold Timmy up and cut the barbed wire at the same time. The kid was barely hanging on as it was, and without the wire wrapped around his legs, gravity would take its toll. A noise reached Eric's ears halfway between a whimper and a scream. Timmy was shivering, which twitched his leg and drove the metal deeper. The sound of sirens in the distance felt like a taunt. They were still too far away. But if Eric could just help Timmy hold on a little longer, he might have a chance. One-handed, his other hand clinging to a branch, Eric pulled the tin snips from his belt and held them between his teeth. The cold taste of metal filled his mouth. As he unbuckled his belt and eased it out of the belt loops, his flashlight and multi-tool fell away, crashing through the branches. He could only hope the kids and Susan were back far enough. Coiling the belt up in one hand, he shifted his weight until he was standing with his back to the tree trunk, his feet on two different, hopefully solid, branches. He reached both arms toward the fence. It was about a foot out of reach. He leaned forward. Sweat dripped down his face. For a moment he was certain he'd fall, crashing like the flashlight through 20 feet of branches and pine needles to the hard ground below. Susan yelled at him. He ignored her. This was not a time to be distracted. Besides, he couldn't hear her clearly over the wind and the sirens anyway. His hand closed around the chain links. Now he could reach Timmy. The kid whimpered more loudly. Trying not to jostle him, Eric fed the belt through the chain link. Then he overbalanced himself even more to reach his arms as far as he could through the fence. Good thing Timmy was skinny. Eric managed to get the belt around the kid's waist. He had thought that he would be able to push back from that position, climb a little further up the tree and cut the barbed wire. But stretched between fence and branch, he knew he couldn't move again without help. He was too off balance. Pressing his shoulder against the fence, he used both hands to tighten the belt around Timmy. Lightning sizzled in Eric's ears just before the pain knocked him senseless. Death arrived in the grass beside the power station seconds before Eric's body thudded to the ground. Death was a good judge of these things, and Eric was clearly within an inch of his life. The lightning strike had stopped his heart. A woman wearing a paramedic's uniform, identical to Eric's, ran over, lugging a bulky machine. Death had seen them before. They were designed to restart a failing heart. Eric's soul hadn't yet appeared, so it might actually work. While the machine charged, Death had time to reflect on the absurdity of human life. What were the odds that lightning would strike a tree at the very moment Eric was using it as a ladder to reach a kid stuck in the barbed wire along the top of a power station fence? Not high, he thought. But in the world of humans, the impossible happened every day. Death watched the paramedic press paddles to Eric's chest. "Clear!" she shouted. Eric's soul sat up. His body didn't. Unable to see or feel the soul, she reached through it to try her machine again. Eric's soul scrambled away, stopping just before it went through the tree trunk. "Shit, I'm dead. Tell me I'm not dead." Death would have answered, but Eric wasn't listening. "Did I at least save the kid?" Eric looked up to where another body was hanging from the fence. "Timmy! Hey, Timmy!" "He's not dead," Death said. "Yet." Eric's eyes focused on Death. "Who are you?" "Don't just stand around watching. Help him." "You're not dead yet either." "Thanks, but, Eric waved his arm, which passed through several tree branches. "I couldn't do that when I was alive." "You're having a near-death experience." This should have been obvious, considering he was standing right here, but humans took some time to get used to things. "Your body is not in good condition, but your friend may still be able to fix it." "And if she does?" This too seemed obvious. Death shrugged. "You won't be dead." "Wait a minute, are you—" Before he could finish the sentence, Eric's soul had disappeared. The machine had worked. If you liked what you just heard, sorry, you're going to have to wait, because this book, Near Life Experience, doesn't come out until July 2020. But you, my lucky friend, may be able to win it if you follow this page and like or comment on this video. One lucky winner will win an advanced copy of Near Life Experience, a signed copy of Nothing's Ever Lost, a bunch of awesome stickers and bookmarks, and whatever else I think of between now and the end of this contest on May 16th. A lucky winner will be chosen on May 17th and announced on all the social medias. Remember, July 2020, and you could read it as early as the end of May. Just saying. So good luck. Enter to win, and then go live your life wherever you are.